Yeah, we back. Yeah, you know that. The market closed, but you know who's open. Market Monday's always open. Another
Always.
Monday. September's here. Happy September 1st, y'all. Blessed, happy to be here with y'all. It was crazy. The whole weekend I'm thinking about, damn, man, just a week ago we was touching that stage.
I know.
You get the InvestFest withdrawals, man.
For sure. Not the stress of the prep, but the actual being there. Oh my God.
Man. It's like, damn, we was just there. The reunion was just last week.
I know.
So blessed to be here. Beautiful in New York, man. Weather's been beautiful. I know you said you got some rain out in Houston, man. Everything good out there?
Yeah, I know. I'm crying because I'm still not in New York. It's gonna expire. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I have to come back. Xander, start to go to bed. I know you watching.
Ian has started the new season with the drip. He back.
Basketball season's return. I hope he's home. All of it.
He back, man.
Elevated taste.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we back. We are live this episode, so we could probably answer some questions. Labor Day. Happy Labor Day if you observe it.
Yeah.
Every day is a Labor Day.
Always.
Yes, fact. You know that.
Shout out to my West Indian family representing out on the Parkway today. Shout out to all y'all. Went there peacefully, enjoyed themselves, represented.
Got shot.
They did?
Yeah, it's a fact.
Damn. I thought we was gonna have just one. That was late. Revelation?
That was on the news.
Damn. Well, I'll take it back. Damn, we can't get one. All right. Well, happy Labor Day.
It's unfortunate.
It is. It really is. It really is. They said 2 people. Oh my God.
Damn.
I ain't watching the news. At 4:00 we was good. Now we not. All right.
Yeah, so
blessings and prayers for real.
Prayers up to the family, man. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's light the mood, guys.
Yeah,
great seeing y'all this weekend.
Great, shout out to the whole JP podcast. Joe Button, 45th birthday. Happy birthday, my guy.
Happy birthday, my guy.
Restaurant was amazing. Food was amazing. Vibes was there. R&B was playing. Hip hop was playing. The guys were there.
Spirited debates
all night. Shout out to my boy Mac and Ish.
Shout out to my brother Ish.
Shout out
Ish. Come on, bro. He like, you only had me on the show 30 minutes. I'm like, bro.
You gotta stop. Ish. We love you, bro. You gotta stop.
That's a fact. Okay, so this week we have Blackout at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Joey Badass will be on. He's supposed to be on last week, but scheduling conflict. So, but he will be on this week, God willing. So we got Joey Badass on Blackout on Wednesday, and then we got Pink Print Firm on Earn Your Leisure on Thursday at 6 o'clock. So we back, man. I've been seeing on TikTok that they got this new thing called the Great Hibernation. You seen that?
Yeah.
From September 1st
back in that mode
to December 31st. Some people say to February 28th.
Oh, the Great Lock-in.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see something.
So it's one of those things you gotta focus. You gotta get your bread right. Focus. This is the time. So
to lock in.
I see my man. I saw somebody put up a post like, when weren't we locked in this year? Man's been grinding since January.
Big facts everywhere.
Know that. So we back at it. Salute to all the kids that's going back to school.
Yeah, man.
This week in New York and all over the Northeast.
Shout out to all the teachers, all the administrators, all the faculty, paraprofessionals, food staff, bus drivers, all y'all, man. Y'all are some of the most important people in this world. So
all the parents in Carline,
all the y'all. You're a Carline?
What I said, I need a VIP express lane. What I gotta donate? Let me get right to the front.
Shout out to the parents. Shout out to the parents too, man. It's definitely a time. It's here. School's back, man. Yeah. So shout out to everybody. 9th grade for NAS. Shout out to Nasir Jordan starting 9th grade. They both in high school this year, which is crazy.
Crying, bro.
It is. My little guy starting 6th grade. So that's crazy. Happy birthday to my nephew. He is officially a teenager this week. Cam, what's up, my boy? Happy birthday.
Happy belated to MG the Mortgage guy. Love you dearly.
Yeah.
One of the realest ones ever, y'all. Love
MG.
you dearly.
MG shares a birthday with his daughters. Shout out to MG and his whole crew. His daughter's birthday is on the same day as his, and I think Brooks is the day after.
No, it's the same day.
No,
So-
he got both his daughters. He got I think
both his daughters on the same
the
day.
same day?
Yeah. So he has his birthday and his oldest and youngest daughter have the same. They all have the same birthday.
Crazy.
That's
Hell of a party.
I don't even know how that happens. How does that happen?
Crystal ball, magical timing.
Timing. It's all in the timing.
All in time in the market.
It's all in the timing. It's all in the timing.
That's crazy.
For real.
Having the same birthday as two of your kids, and they're not twins.
That's different.
No,
yeah.
some years apart, like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Shout out to MG.
That's crazy. That's
Play
crazy.
the lotto, my guy.
Shout out to Tony. Shout out to you.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, Ian. Any announcements?
Prayers to Fat Man Scoop and his family. It's been 1 year since he passed. My brother, love you dearly. To the family, love you dearly. Had a great time with y'all this weekend. Power and collaboration, power and friendship. Last of the Mohicans. And to everyone who joined Stock Club sale, amazing call today at 3 p.m. Central. The replay will be out tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central on Tuesday. If I've made you money, please put yes in chat. If you love the call today, please put yes in chat. Love y'all dearly. No more sales this year. So if you want to be a part of the family and make money on demand, regardless of who's in office or what's going on with interest rates or the Fed, people getting fired, go to ianinvest.com and be a part of the Red Panda Stock Club. And the slides from InvestFest, which you guys wanted, are in Telegram. Next week, I'll start breaking down the slides individually and add more content there so I can show some more secrets and tips to how to navigate the market. And I love you. I'll see y'all at Blackout this Wednesday. They got an amazing episode Thursday. We outside Friday. Hibernation mode. We back in that mode.
Somebody said, "How come Cameron's never been on?" You know, I never met Cam. I don't know Cam. I ran into Mace the other day in Atlanta.
Shout to Betha.
But I never met Cameron before. One of the few people from New York City that we have not met.
Nope.
He's one of the very few. Actually,
Somebody message Killer there. And
yeah, set it up.
Never met Cam.
Yeah, we tried to just the scheduling. We never met him, but we had some people working on it, and scheduling just didn't work out. But yeah, Cam, we've been rocking since we met 96 in entertainment.
Somebody said, "What about Jay?" Yeah, we definitely met Jay. That was a whole story within itself. We told that story before.
Yes.
Iconic.
Yes, well documented.
Okay, let's get into this.
Let's do this first, man. Let's do this first. Y'all know how this works, man. Do your own research. This is our disclaimer, y'all. All y'all out there, our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. This is a message brought to you by the good brothers at Earn Your Leisure and the good brother Ian Dunlap, the master investor himself.
Back campaign.
Red Panda family aficionado. Continue to share the research, man. And when it's good, give credit to the people you heard it from. Let's build wealth. Let's build community. Let's build our bank accounts. Let's do it.
So let's talk about okay. What is the market advice for September based off of historical data?
Buy in September. We're gonna make everything real simple. We don't need all the complicated answers when the market moves 3.5 standard deviations. No, if the market drops in August and September, we're going to buy in August and September. Rashad, guess what? On the months when it's up in April and January, what are we going to do? We're going to buy in April and January. We're going to put in chat. We're going to buy every month. We are going to buy every single month. Now, if we have a dip, which we had a little bit of a pullback, some people were worried about Bitcoin. You shouldn't be. But the biggest lesson is to be able to buy a certain amount of shares every month, regardless of what the market is doing. That includes crypto. We're hovering at like 109 and some change. We should hit 107 or 106 on Bitcoin. But the key is to buy every month. And also, the ratio of execution of buying is more important than the ratio of information that you take in. It's great to know all the information in the world, but some of the people I've seen have the biggest returns and the most amount of shares, they just buy and don't look at all the information and say, okay, I know these are the 4 I'm going to invest in. Like I was talking earlier, if you're in media, Microsoft, Nvidia, Netflix, Google are the only 4 you need in media. Well, what about Paramount Extra Plus? Not in the equation. Disney, love Disney, the corporation. Shout out to everybody on the executive board, yada, yada. But those are the big 4. Make it simple, buy every month. And if we have a great pullback in September, it's your time to execute.
Yeah, I figured you was going to go that route. I had buys, but I switched mine up. I put have reserves. Right. So make sure, I know people are investing every month, but make sure you have money to invest. And so having reserves is important. We talked about the interest rates, and we'll know about that in the next couple of weeks in this month. But I think something that gets looked over, especially in the futures market, definitely in the options market, is quadruple witching, which is going to happen this month. So it happens in the 3rd month of each quarter, the 3rd week. So September 19th, circle that on your calendars. Circle that on your calendars. That is an expiration date where all simultaneously will expire. So the options market will have expiration dates on that date. Futures markets, ETF indexes, they all have it around that time. And so what you'll see is people will sell to take profits. All right. So you're going to see sometimes a downtrend or a nice correction or a pullback around that time. But that's all part of the game, right? You're in this to make money. And so when people make money and they take profits, this is what happens. And so circle that date, September 19th, around that week, you might see some volatility. And that will happen at the same time, presumably when we'll know about the interest rate hike or, maybe not a hike. So it should be an interesting time. There will be some volatility here, but have some reserves in the event either way, because like you said, you want to make sure that you're getting at the right price, which is why you're inside a stock club. But you want to make sure that you're getting it for the long term. And so you can get some really generational prices and keep them for the long term. So have reserves. That would be my 2 words.
Yeah, if SPY gets back to 638, 45, that's the area I would like to potentially enter. And then also with quad witching coming up, you want to be out 3 or 4 days before the expiration. You don't want to hold them into that actual date. And I know sometimes it can be fearful to hold for a long period of time, but when everyone says, I want to buy the dip, from a mathematical standpoint, September and August would give you those entries. If you're looking to hold for a long term, 5 years, like you won't even remember any drawdowns or pullbacks that you had, but September is definitely a great time, especially going into the 4th quarter and into the Christmas rally.
Yeah.
And into January, you're going to be okay. Hold for the long term.
Yeah. So anybody that's been with us and watching some of these contracts, tomorrow, I would have did it today if the market was open, but tomorrow I'm going to have to, exercise some of these contracts. I'm probably not going to exercise them to add more shares. We'll probably take capital and reinvest. So either we're going to do that. I know we're doing something special for our VIPs. I'm actually going to probably show that during the class so people can see what it looks like to sell an options contract.
Oh, can we announce that?
Yeah, I was just about to. Is it too late to add a video to this?
No, I can do it.
Can you add the video, please? I wanted to show that as part of the segment. Okay. So for InvestFest, everybody that had a VIP ticket, one of the things that we talked about is that post InvestFest, we're going to do 4 webinars on 4 different topics. The first topic is investing, stocks. So myself, Troy, and Ian will be doing a stock webinar for the InvestFest VIP people, and that is 7:30 on Wednesday. Check your emails. If you had an InvestFest VIP ticket, check your emails. This Wednesday at 7:30, we're going to be doing a Zoom call. And like I said, that's post InvestFest benefits of having a VIP ticket. And man, InvestFest is so legendary. Speaking of InvestFest, I think we definitely got to talk about this Young Thug situation on Blackout because there's some teachable moments in there. But my question is, obviously that made a lot of news and that's trending. And every time Chris Brown does a show that trends on all of our cultural blogs and sites. Why do you think InvestFest, which had 25,000 people there, and for all accounts, you know, hit it out the park on every angle. Why do you think the coverage of that has been lackluster, to say the least, from blogs?
Two reasons: negativity sells in media, especially when the entrepreneurs are Black facing. And two, the other part that the audience may not see, some people don't want to promote the brand of InvestFest or us because they can't find a way to get a royalty in perpetuity out of it. So they'll gatekeep from the culture because they can't financially profit from it. If it was a dud, they'd be promoting the shit out of it.
Oh, if anything negative happened, if somebody got hurt, if something crazy happened, it would be front page on every single situation.
Yeah.
25,000 people come. There's no incident at all, not one. And $250,000 was given away to two business owners. And thousands of people made a bunch of money inside in the marketplace. And Magic Johnson gave a legendary performance on stage, and
prayer after
19 Keys and Issa Rae and Charlemagne and Steve Harvey. That's not a normal thing. That doesn't happen every day.
Yes, somebody said that it's too positive. It's bigger than being too positive. I think it's too liberating, right? Like anything that's liberating, it almost feels like it's a threat to the establishment. And so it's the same reason why you asked the question, why didn't we learn financial literacy in school? Well, you weren't supposed to because that's too liberating, right? So the same way that InvestFest is liberating thousands of people, not millions at this point, from watching this show and all the things that we've done, obviously Market Mondays, Burning Legion, that entire umbrella, it's liberating. You know, when people used to say, yo, y'all are a threat to the establishment, it was like, hey, hold on, we're just doing what God has called us to do. But when you start to see like the people who look like you aren't covering it, they're caught in the matrix too, right? So they're complicit in it. So the only thing is to continue to do what you're supposed to do.
Or maybe they had a tight deadline for reporting. They had to take advantage of the weekend that was available before Labor Day.
Continue walking to the light, man. That's it.
Even like this happened before with New York Times. Hollywood Reporter comes, they interview Charlemagne, and their headline is Charlemagne talks about Democrats. That has nothing to do with InvestFest at all. So why would you even come? Why would you even come if you had an event with 25,000 people, Jack Dorsey, and you write a report about Charlemagne's opinion on the Democrats?
Yeah.
Which the Democrats kind of need to listen to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same blueprint that they ran last year with the Wall Street Journal when they came and covered and asked
New York Times,
and my apologies. New York Times came and talked about the election. Nothing to do about the thousands of people who are actually attending, the 400 businesses that were in the marketplace, the food truck village, the entrepreneurs that got ideas and got funding and networked throughout the course of 3 days. No violence, right? None of that was covered, but they wanted to understand who was the voting population inside of the convention center.
It's a great case study for entrepreneurs, though. If you're going to do something positive leaning, you have to be 4 to 5 times better to get the same kind of traction you would if it was a negative event or correspondence at the event. Reminds me of that Steve Martin quote of "Be so good they can't ignore you."
But then also, it's good to have your own platform. You can control your own narrative. So
for sure,
you know, we fortunately for us, we're not reliant, because you know there's a lot of events. Let's take an event like, let's say Curlfest, right? And they had to shut their event down because they didn't get the corporate sponsorship, but they don't have an ongoing platform, so they can't create their own narrative. If they don't get positive press, they don't get press at all. So, you know, fortunately for us, even if nobody covers it, we can cover it ourselves and it can still reach millions of people. But like I said, there's a lot of events. You have Broccoli City, you got Curlfest, you got even Essence on a certain level. You know, their media is not as strong as it used to be. There's a lot of events. So when you see things like Complex and they cover everything that Kai Cenat does, I'm proud of him. I really am. But what does that tell you? They're selective in what they're covering as far as cultural relevance is concerned. Because if Coachella happens, then they're going to cover it nonstop. If Rolling Loud happens, they're going to cover it nonstop. But they're never going to miss what iShow Speed is doing. They're never going to miss what Kai Cenat is doing. So if this is a media company that is categorized as a black company, even though that they're not a black company, it's black leaning. So this goes back to the Kamala Harris thing. When the Democrats had all this money, Complex was the number one company that they paid for black media. Complex got the most money for black media. Complex not owned by a black person. But what does that tell you? They said that they're black leaning. What does that mean?
They own black assets.
But what are they covering? That's black. What type of black content are they covering?
Non-inspirational or aspirational content that is deployed to black audiences.
Nah, it's sports and entertainment. We could just say that. It is. It's sports and entertainment. Because that's what we over-indexing.
But for entrepreneurs, it's a case study. Gotta factor in being 4 to 5 times greater to get the same return if you was doing something negative. So we'll start planning for next year. I'll come in on a Velociraptor next year. Where I shall speak barking on the other side of the stage. Hey, you know.
So okay, InvestFest, a VIP people, 7:30 on Wednesday. We're going to do a Zoom for you guys, and then we're going to do a couple other Zooms following, couple weeks following. So watch out for your email. Tune into that if you can make it, and get your tickets to InvestFest 2026.
Back
50% off. General admission for the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we get the praise from the people, Charlamagne said this: you can either be of the people or of the industry. If we get the praise from the people.
And thank you to everybody that did cover it, because Essence did cover it.
Shout out to them.
The few people that
Forbes is there.
Forbes is there.
Yep.
There's a few people that covered it. So you know, we do appreciate everybody that did cover, and most importantly, a lot of content creators were there.
For sure.
I was gonna say the independent people. Revolt. Shout out to Revolt. Our Revolt team and family over there. Yeah.
You gotta be thankful for the allies that you have. But you can never be complacent. This is a money conversation, because like I said, when they decide to divvy up dollars, this is not $500 million. That's the budgets. For the Democrats last year, we didn't get them money. So you give him. So that's what I'm saying. It's not the DEI conversation. It's real nuanced. Like you give him money to. You can't be You can't be stamped black if it's not black owned. It's not a black event if it's not black owned. Equity is very important. So
that's what matters.
That's what they tell you. It doesn't matter. I remember 19 Keys asked the CEO of BET, and he said it doesn't matter if it's black owned or not. How is that possible? How is black entertainment television doesn't matter if it's owned by black people? It doesn't matter. But nobody else will tell you that. Al Jazeera, they're not going to tell you, oh, it doesn't matter that it's not owned by Arab. They're not going to tell you that.
And that's why I said on stage, what asset are we going to invest in collectively where our numbers are so strong that none of those games can be played? It matters. That's strength in numbers, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the BET thing is crazy, right? So like we talked about it last week, well, maybe a couple of weeks ago, in terms of ownership, right? So like that's owned by Viacom, and then it was up for sale, and it was trying to figure out, there was rumors that Tyler Perry might do it. I know Puff at the time was trying to figure out how he could do it, and they were trying to figure out how do we get it back. Well, 3 weeks ago, Dave Ellison said, we got it. Look, you guys can figure it out. I'll take it from here.
Puff was trying to buy BT.
That's what I said. He was part of that group, and they couldn't figure out how to do it, right? I want to do it my way. You do it your way. Maybe we can come together and do it. And now they said, we're good. We have it. David Ellison, multi-billionaire, son of Larry Ellison, the second richest man in the world. They said, all right, well, we'll control it. We got it from here. Thanks.
Politics as usual.
Politics as usual. Y'all can't figure it out. We got it.
September 21st, we're doing, and I'm hosting an NIL panel in conjunction with African-American men of Westchester. So this is in Westchester County, New York. This is for elite level athletes, high school. It's free. It's a free event, and it's September 21st. So if you are a coach or you have a son or a daughter that is in high school, getting ready to go to college, is NIL, potentially NILs in their future. I put together the whole panel. I have an NFL agent. I have the head of NIL of Boston College, and I have one of the top entertainment lawyers in America, and we have a financial advisor as well. Refreshments will be provided in Westchester County, Westchester Community College on September 21st. That's a Sunday. Go to the link in my bio. You can RSVP. Like I said, it's free. but it's really designed for people that's high level or, on that trajectory to potentially get NIL deals in the future.
I love that.
So tri-state area, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania. I mean, I don't care where you come from, but tri-state area, obviously, that's
home team.
That's what it's
that's home team. That's home cooking. What time? What time does it start?
2:00. 2 to 5.
All right.
Okay. Aside from the Mag 7, which 5 companies do you believe are best positioned to thrive under a Trump administration, given his pro-America stance?
All right, let me just, before you start, Ian, let me give, for the people who are not in the know, the Mag 7, because they might forget a few of them. Let's start with the A's. You got Apple, you got Amazon, you got Alphabet. You got Microsoft, you got Nvidia, you got Meta, and Tesla. Those are your 7. Outside of those, where we going? I'm gonna try to name 5 different ones than you name. So go.
Well, I talked about this on stage last week at InvestFest. I'll give you guys a prompt. Act as a world-class investor based on political donation, ties to the family, and acceptance in the Republican Party. Which companies have the highest probability of thriving underneath the Trump administration? That's for game. So I'll go through the list, though. We talked about them already. Mm-hmm. Top of Rashad went off for 2 hours when we on Blackout about this, but Palantir, Geo Group, who I will not invest in as a black person. Tesla was in there. Nvidia. It's not talked about enough, but Saudi Aramco is definitely in favor. And then the other list that is not talked about is the companies you should stay away from or should potentially short. And that's pretty much all the pharma that is getting attacked. We'll talk about the $2 billion lawsuit with Novo, but all the health and food companies that Robert F. Kennedy is going to attack. And because they have a tight affinity, those are not ones you should look to invest in. Palantir, Tesla was one.
No, we can't put no Tesla. No Tesla. Tesla's in the 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Palantir, Geo Group.
Yep.
Is BlackRock in? No, it's technically not, even though they're the owners of BlackRock. It's not rocket science of the ones that he's already, because the ones that he likes, you can add AMD to that list now because they are back in fashion with the administration. Those are the ones I would invest in. But as I talked about last Sunday, 10 stocks are responsible since 1989 through 2025 for 82% of the returns in the market. It's really none to invest. I know we always want to find a diamond in the rough. Pick up the VVS 8-carat diamond that's right here. Right. You don't need to hunt, I think, for anything else outside of the ones that are going to do good, because regardless of who was in office, they're going to fund both sides. And that's the other part of business that's not talked about, is funding both sides of the war is the ultimate hedge. Regardless of who in office, Nvidia is going to be in favor with. Microsoft is going to be in favor with, but Palantir, Geo Group, who I want to invest in, are the main ones. What about you, Troy?
I'm not going to put any of the Mag 7. I'm going to start off with Broadcom.
For sure.
Because
that's your pick. That's why I didn't say it.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, it's adjacent. I've been talking about Broadcom for probably 3 or 4 years now. Shout out to everybody that's made investment in it. They got their earnings call this Thursday, I believe. So that should be interesting. A lot of us and some deep calls in them. Netflix, which we've been talking about for the past 2 years.
For sure. Or more.
It doesn't even matter who's in administration in terms of what they got going on. They got a big month ahead of them in terms of user growth, in terms of that Crawford-Canelo fight. I know they're doing the Tank Paul fight. So just in live sports, they're expanding. I added Visa as in my 5.
We talked about funding both sides of the war.
Exactly. And when you talk about the growth of Bitcoin, when you talk about stable coins, when you look at the position from a global processor, Visa is at the forefront of it. We travel a lot of countries, and I'll tell you what is accepted everywhere, and that is Visa. So that's 3. I had Palantir, but I'll replace it because you said it. I'll put Uber there. Uber is definitely one.
Have a great relationship, and they're doing a great job.
and they got some stuff that will be happening in the future. And this is my dark horse, but it really shouldn't be. I talked about the second wealthiest man in the world, Larry Ellison. I have Oracle. When we talk about Make America Great, and we talk about American companies, what they are doing inside of the AI space in terms of cloud compute, quietly, they haven't taken a lion's share, but they've cracked a dent inside of that big three when we're talking about AWS, when we're talking about Microsoft Azure, and when we're talking about Google Cloud. Number 4 now in America is Oracle. They are doing a lot of stuff in terms of cloud compute for OpenAI. We already talked about Stargate, and that TikTok thing is still there. I know that at some point that conversation
has to be addressed.
It will be addressed, and they are at the forefront because they already are doing the cloud service for TikTok. So I like Oracle as one of these ones that their moment, it's been happening. If you look at how they've been reporting over the past 3 years, 30% growth in 2023 or 2022, 60% growth in 2023, 30% growth in 2024. They're off to another great start this year. American made, American company, great friends with the administration. Larry Ellison is. I got Oracle as my number 5.
And just as a quick reminder, we've talked about these for the last 2 years. Hot take, but very true. If you're dependent on a presidential candidate to move your portfolio, you're fucked before you begin. Your portfolio has to be agnostic and fund who's ever in office.
Right. That's true. And that's so like if we were asking indexes, we could have done indexes. If we were asking ETFs, we could have done ETFs. If we're just talking about single equities, those would be the 5 outside of the Mag 7.
Yep.
Oh, for everybody, InvestFest, the replay will be towards the end of the week. Some technical difficulties on the download, so just have patience, but you will be able to get the replay. As far as
ask the audience, do you guys think this InvestFest was the best one?
that's the
and what would you like to see next year? Even more important.
Or who would you like to see?
Yeah. Can I just say something really quickly?
Of course.
We talked about another American company, and I told people inside of University, Dell reported last week, and the stock fell like 11%. And I wasn't even mad at it. Obviously, we're out long term on it, but if you look at where the key parts of where the revenue was growing from, it's exactly what we was looking at and exactly what we were saying. Their AI data center infrastructure has grown by 13 to 14%. That is only going to continue, right? So when you look at future guidance, that's why I said sometimes, yeah, you could ignore the earnings report, but pay attention to the future guidance. If you look at what they're doing inside of AI, I know when people think Dell, they think, oh my God, that's one of those dinosaur companies. Nah, man, they're switching the business model. They're going into AI. They're doing a lot of the racking for Nvidia. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on note. And if you weren't in and you were like, hey, they fell 12%, that might be a good sign for you. Just want to put that out there.
And speaking of dinosaur companies, I don't care if Donald Trump and the American government takes 90% interest in Intel. It's never going to be Nvidia. I don't care how many times Trump's in it now. What do you think? It's still not Nvidia. Unless Jensen go over there with that leather jacket, I don't. It's over with. Sorry. They may have. They're going to have a bounce for sure. But is it Nvidia or AMD? No. Is it Broadcom? No. No.
Not gonna be.
Nope.
Not gonna be. And that's okay. It's not gonna be, but that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. You can live with that.
Okay. A lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of chameleon. Shout out to chameleon though.
Chameleonaires heavy. Deion Sanders, chameleonaire. A lot of chameleonaires.
A lot of chameleonaire. Hell of a story.
Great story. I had a great phone. Was that like last year we had a phone call with him? Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah, great phone call with him. Yeah.
Shout out to chameleonaire. Does Nvidia have a revenue concentration problem?
This is a great question.
It's a great question.
I got a great answer.
Short answer is yes. From outside looking in, but I talked about this on stage, so I got to mention that. Even in companies, great companies have hyper concentration in how the revenue is driven. It goes back to the 80-20 rule. Like sometimes a lever is going to cause 80% of the growth in your sector, business, or life. And it's really important to focus on that basket of that's giving you the highest return. The part that's not being mentioned in the hyper concentration of that revenue driver is how long their relationship is going to be. Now, we got the conversation we was there, so it's a lot that I cannot say. But that driver of revenue and inventory isn't going anywhere. And lo and behold, they got the remix chip for China. So whatever, if that relationship goes a little awry, Jensen already told you how much money they're going to make from China and the legal Chinese chip that he's able to move. So now you have two big mega corporations and continents that are driving revenue into Nvidia. I know everyone keeps wanting to make an analogy of Cisco and Nvidia. The market and timing was different, and Nvidia business is probably one of the best businesses we've seen in tech in the last 50 years. So the comparison is not even fair and asinine at best. But if they get this chip over to China, which I think they will, they're using countries as a hedge. Like, this is the greatest investing lesson in real time I've seen. He's find a way to make an American company so valuable that they can't ignore him. Then you come to an agreement with Saudi Arabia, and the chip is so damn good that people have found a black market to get them to China, and you get the president to clear you to do a deal with China while they are enemy.
Yeah.
That's a moat. I don't know if you know, but like, if China is buying all your shit and the US is too, and then Saudi put an investment into it, from a business standpoint, what other customers do you need? What, you gonna sell to Switzerland? Could help. But you have the biggest players on earth already invested for a 6 or 7 year period with no competition in sight that is comparable. Stay locked in. Jen said, when we went to Nvidia, I didn't see one person playing fools, but they didn't even want to eat down there. They ate fast as hell down in the cafeteria. Tie your money and your portfolio to the companies that are moving the GDP of the country. But if they're going to have a positive impact on China, you really are investing in two countries, and he's allowed illegally to have a hedge against each other.
Yeah, so the China situation is interesting because if you looked at the earnings report, that wasn't part of the revenue model. They didn't include the H20 just because there's been problems with it. Kind of looking at it as a potential security risk, right? You're having a country make chips for you that you're going to run high-powered AI. They thought it was a conflict of interest. NVIDIA turned around and said they're going to make the B30A chip, which is kind of architected after Blackwell. Blackwell Ultra is about to hit the airways at this point. The concentration thing is interesting because I think the short answer is yes, but I think the midterm answer is yes as well. When you look at the numbers, and this is from the report, 2 customers represent 39% of total revenue. Company A, which I would love to see who. I mean, I'm pretty sure I think I know who Company A is.
You tell me.
They represent 23%, and Company B represents 16%. My hypothetical guess, and like I said, this is undisclosed. They don't even put this in the report. I think Company A would be Microsoft, and Company B is Meta.
You don't say.
I think I'm from what the tea leaves I've looked at, I believe those are the companies. That's just from the total revenue of the chip sales. Their data center sales, right? 3 customers make up over half of the total revenue for the company, right? And so now you're talking to data centers, the expansion inside of that. You got pretty much 3 companies that are bringing half of your revenue. So is that a concentration problem? Yes. But when you're talking about hyperscalers as the concentration, not as much of a problem. When you're talking about potentially 3 of the wealthiest companies in the history of the world as your clients, that doesn't hurt.
And
I think the other part is that they're diversifying too. So it's not just the GPUs. They're going into automotives. They're going into enterprise AI. I think the next thing, and I've seen some hints of it, of the products, is they're going to try to ramp up the retail space, right? So yeah, we're killing you in the GPUs, but like, yeah, we're not done with CPUs yet, which is like, man, they could really kick AMD's door in when it comes to that. And so like the retail product becomes something. And so concentration can be a problem for businesses. I just don't think it's a problem for this business at this point.
This era is called a revenue concentration issue. When Gates did it, it was called a monopoly. Even the moat
Fair.
and having Meta and Microsoft. I know Sam is trying
allegedly.
allegedly. Lord, forgive me. Strike that from the record. But to even have the biggest corporations in the world, which act as governments, they have a super moat of protection around them in Microsoft, Meta, and other companies that are investing into them. Like we're talking about too big to fail. This company is too big to fail and too excellent in terms of the product that they put out. While Apple is doing nothing.
Until companies decide to make their own.
For sure.
Which
but
Amazon
it takes a long time to
exactly. Yeah, that's
build. True. Yeah. So that's a time moat.
Mm-hmm.
And how long it would take to build a fabrication plant, or if they want to build their own data center. I see that talk popping up. Well, why doesn't this company just directly build a data center? Well, it's a 5 to 7 year runway.
Exactly.
And they're not masters at that thing. And that's why I always say, like, you have to double down on mastery. He didn't get here just because of that leather jacket. That was the like icing on top of the cake. The mastery part from 99 through 2016, 2017. And I was telling Stock Club that they had 80% market share in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
While everyone thought AMD was better. Like back then, Nvidia was already best of class, and the company that's going to take over the world is one that's dominating a niche right now, and it's your job to go find it.
Yeah. Amazon's currently trying to develop theirs. I know Google's working on it. That mastery piece is very important. I'm glad you said that, because even now there was some reports today. Obviously, Alibaba has designed their own chip to manufacture, and that's great, right? But there's a company that we always talk about, and it's just kind of been just coasting along, ASML. They still, when we talk, and you use the word monopoly, so I'll use it again. When we talk about monopolies, if you want to have advanced GPUs, you still need to use that company at some point.
For sure.
And as of now, if you look at who China has gone to manufacture the high lithography EUVs, it hasn't been them. And so they have the monopoly, which is why TSM is working with them, which is why Nvidia has TSM manufacturer, which is why AMD has TSM. All these companies know that we have to go to the source. And so if that monopoly is still there and China's not using that, then they're going to be behind. Until they figure out how to create that machine. And that, like I said, that's a $340 million machine. And there's like 12 of them. And it takes almost 2 years to build. Until they figure that part out, I don't care what chip they say that they have. If that company's not manufacturing it, it's not going to be as fast as what NVIDIA is doing.
High barrier to entry and high cost of entry are two other moats that NVIDIA has that I don't think people are factoring in. Once again, TSM. Even when I started to go back and like post InvestFest and like do my downloads, even the threat of the conflict between China and Taiwan, I think that was done to suppress TSM as well. Because we both know. Go ahead.
Speaking of TSM, somebody in the audience had a question. They said, I'm up 48% on TSM. Should I sell it and then put the money in NVIDIA?
Is it they own shares? That would be important to know. Or they talking about options?
They just said up 48% on TSM.
I think, I'll let you give your answer for anybody holding shares.
If you're holding shares, I think the maximum you should liquidate is probably 15%, because both are getting towards the apex of the asymmetric risk to reward ratio. But the good thing, like, okay, it's always like, if you have a Ferrari and you see a Rolls Royce, you may want to switch out for the coloring. But a free and clear TSM is worth its weight in gold as well. Like TSM was at 142 back in April. It's at 230 now. Why would you get out of a vehicle that's producing that kind of return for you? It's okay.
You don't leave it, because you understand. Like we've talked about the ecosystem and how this thing is going to work.
They're one of the ones, yo.
They are the vital piece, right? Like ASM has the monopoly. TSM is producing, and every time we talk about the percentage, it just keeps going up of the world's chips, right? They're producing over 90% of the world's chips. The biggest companies are going to them to manufacture. The fact that their foundries are coming online next year, why would you? Right? If anything, figure out how you're going to get more shares, because that's not going to change, right? The foundries in Arizona are going to be online. They added another foundry, right? Soon they'll start Texas might be another place that they're going to have it. what they learned from COVID is like, we're not going to rely on Taiwan specifically as the region. We're going to have their company here, give them tax incentives to build here. They're going to manufacture here, and we're going to make this thing work. I saw somebody put Micron in the chat. I'm still talking about Micron. Why? If you watch what Jensen was talking about in terms of memory and storage and who they're using, the high bandwidth, they're talking about that company. And guess what? That company is an American company, and they manufacture here in Idaho. If you're not on your watch list, if you're new, go put it on your watch list.
And to put it in hoop terms, having TSM is like having prime Tim Duncan, and then you're like, well, should I trade Duncan for Shaq? It's gonna wash even. It's gonna wash even. Don't even worry about it. Sometimes it's better to stay pat, especially if you're up 25, 40, 50%, especially when NVIDIA. Now, if this was April, I may give you a different answer, but there isn't a asymmetric risk to reward scenario to buy in where you would get 60% return on NVIDIA and where it's worth selling out. It's better to double down and hold the investments that are working for you. And when it's time for a price, I'll give you one, or you can join Stock Club and I can tell you where to get in.
Yeah, I don't think this is a story of we've seen all the growth that we're going to see in these companies.
Hell no.
That's not the case with TSM. That's not the case with NVIDIA. That won't be the case with Broadcom. These companies are going to lead the way. They're leading now. And then every time we talk to somebody in the space, they're telling you, yeah, we're in the early stages. We're in the early stages. This is the second inning.
Yeah.
Well, the starting pitcher is still on the mound, and that's NVIDIA.
But TSM?
They like the catcher. They're the catcher.
Tough.
They're the catcher.
And if it wasn't for the conflict and they didn't talk about the kill switch, TSM would be further ahead too.
Hey, easy.
Sorry.
Easy.
Sorry.
I don't think we've ever talked about that. Easy.
So, okay. Hit the like button and share.
Yeah, share with 5 people.
Last Monday, we did the Stock Club sale. 50% off for 3 years. We ended it on Thursday. Tons of emails, DMs about Friday payday. So, being that this is a holiday, we did open it back up for Labor Day for 1 day. Closing at the end of the program tonight. InvestFest.com. 3 years access to Stock Club for 50% of 1 year. Okay.
There will be no Black Friday sale, no Christmas sale, no Rosh Hashanah sale.
Chris Mayo said, "Is Google done?" Absolutely not.
Not.
Absolutely.
No. And I can argue out of the big tech, if I may, Google has probably done the best innovating to catch up. That Nano Banana and that VO3 and Gemini. I wish Apple had a Nano Banana. Pause. I think.
It's crazy because but the Nano Banana,
tough.
Google is underpriced. I'll say that.
And underappreciated. If they need to liquidate all the non-performing businesses, focus on Google, Gemini, YouTube, and the rest of the shit. Let it go. Well, the Pixel is doing well too. Apple with a fucking curved flip phone.
Yeah, I thought Geo3 was incredible. Then this Nano Banana thing. I'm like,
insane.
And this is what we were talking about. When we were talking about they had all the talent, right? But the talent kept leaving. They couldn't keep the talent.
Yeah, they couldn't keep them.
Feels like in this moment,
they got the right team, yo.
The team and the product release is just, I mean, every month is something in terms of AI. And each product is better than the one before.
They are putting
and that
Jiggy V6139. What's your question, bro?
Yeah.
What's your question?
As you type it, Jiggy, pause. The iPhone, it said Apple said they're gonna put a new iPhone. Now you're about to see how much of a lead Google had when in terms of smart devices when the new iPhone comes out. I saw some ramifications. I said, "Oh man, wow, this is the offering."
You can only follow the leader for so long. My boy Drew been saying this forever. Oh, shout to Drew. Happy anniversary on 1 year of Black Dragon being open to Philly. Love you dearly.
Oh yeah. Go support that, y'all. Go support that.
Congratulations.
Yes. But you've been telling me forever, like, yo, Apple been lagging for the last 9 years. It's true. Like, you can't play copy and paste forever, especially when we get more tech innovation than ever. Google is putting on a playbook for what I wish Apple would do.
And quietly, not putting out a press release. The product is just dropping. They're just dropping the product.
Dropping fire.
and let the people talk about the product. So I know people in the past were like, and all the Google people, how you doing? We were critical of them for good
Listen,
reason,
you put me on a cross. I'm sorry, like Tizo. Sorry, I was wrong. Y'all just came back, but that's what a great company, a great entrepreneur should do. Any criticism, meet it with improvements and enhanced productivity. And for the last probably 9 months, nothing but fire. Nothing but fire.
NW 954. Yes. Hold on real quick, because he said, should he sell his leap options before 9/19? If they expire on 9/19 and they're in profit, but we're not holding them to the expiration date.
Jiggy V6139 says, what should I invest in? I have $1,000 max right now to invest.
Microsoft.
The whole thing? $1,000 in Microsoft?
Microsoft is a combination of, based on all the companies that they own and the talent that they have, there is an index fund and tech weighted into one. Start there. Let me see if you need price. I'll give you price. So what
I'm not arguing with you on this one, bro. I'm with you.
If you can get in at 481.49, it would not be a bad place to enter. Because what you need to see is gains, and it work for you. A lot of times when we only have a small dollar amount, we don't think it's going to work. But once you see you're up 10, 15%, you'll find more money to put in. And sometimes it's better to find one amazing stock to pile into that is going to do well for a long period of time.
Can we do each other a favor? The people in the chat that are saying that's only 2 shares, we got to stop doing it.
You got to stop that.
Because,
so what?
like,
you want a 13-cent stock that's not going to go. You guys asked me, not this audience, but clip this up, who asked me about marijuana. That shit is not moved. What happens is, once he see those 2 shares work, he's going to go find and put money and not go outside as much, or not go on dates with the girl he met in DM who really don't look like that in real life, and the BBL trash. You will find the money once you find the investment that works.
We got to be encouraging that. One share, the first step is the most important one. So like, if you could afford to get 1 share, great, you got 1 share. Next month, let's try to get another one. That's how you build wealth, right? Let that money work for you rather than doing frivolous things with it. Be encouraging of that.
And back to the conversation we had at the table, but to reel it here, you can't name me 15 assets in the world that's better than Microsoft. Quick question for you. What is the 5-year drawdown of Microsoft since Satya has been in the lead chair position? Because drawdown matters a lot. Matters a hell of a lot. So GBT or Perplexity did, but what's the drawdown? Meaning, how much has the stock come down?
15 is a kind number. I'll say 5.
It's tough. Wow. So if you can we invest in OpenAI? Not directly unless you have a private equity or VC connection, but through proxy, Microsoft is the entryway into OpenAI.
For the next 6 years at least. Well, 5 years.
I can divide. There's 1 A, 2.
Yeah.
2 of them shits.
Get yours now. Right.
So
this is a company headed to 4 trillion, y'all. Like with no slowdown in sight.
I've never woke up in the middle of the night like, damn, I wonder if Satya gonna ruin the company today. That matters.
Yeah. So go get your 2 shares, man. Go do that. Appreciate you. That's love.
Because y'all gonna make me mad, and I'll just mentee him and turn them 2 shares into 2,000. See, InvestFest stage. Matter of fact, let's do a case study. Let's put him in Stock Club for free, and then let's see next year. Let's put him on stage and see what our account is.
All right.
Yeah. And matter of fact, let's get his email. He could join the joint.
See
Wednesday. we gonna give him some option game too. Yes, let's see.
So Jiggy,
what's up?
Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM with your full name and email. You have been entered into Stock Club. All right.
Let's make some money.
You never know what's gonna happen on Market Monday.
Never know. Not on the live joint. I'm refreshed too. Ooh, baby.
Suits is back. That roof is back.
Hello. We happy, glowing, friendship shining. Hey.
Shout out to the kale salad of the world.
For sure.
It's helping the skin.
Shout out to Mecca. Great conversation.
Shout out to Mac. All right. Novo Nordic and Eli Lilly are both facing a growing federal multi-district litigation. Over 2,000 lawsuits so far, which are estimated to be, valued at over $2 billion as far as like how much they're actually asking for. Over in Ozempic and similar drugs. Some cases allege rare vision problems, among other issues. So, okay, we'll talk about both companies, but let's talk about Novo first. And, the Ozempic conversation is interesting because I hate to say that I told you so, but I did.
You did.
Because last year I was like, as far as seen this movie happen before, we don't know what's going to happen next. But whenever something good happens, there's a Chinese parable. And if you watch the movie Charlie Wilson's War, right, at the end of the movie, they tell the parable because Charlie Wilson's War is about Afghanistan history. Let's go into a history rabbit hole. Okay, Afghanistan in the 80s was fighting the Soviet Union. At the time, the Soviet Union was America's biggest enemy, right? So what did America do? America backed the rebels in Afghanistan, and Afghanistan pulled off a very unlikely defeat. Who was one of the leaders of the rebels in Afghanistan that America funded? Put in chat. This is like what's that show?
Jeopardy?
Yeah, Jeopardy.
Couldn't bake up with Tom Donovich.
Who was one of the leaders? Who was one of the leaders in Afghanistan in their fight against the Soviet Union that the United States of America funded?
Get it right, young scrap.
You guessed
try it, boy.
Osama bin Laden.
Time out. Is that in the YouTube privacy?
No, that's a historical fact. That's not controversial. That's historical.
Okay. No, that's
documented.
That's a 60-minute special. Bro.
That's documented.
Like
for sure, but
Jesus. That might not be in the global. That should be in the global studies curriculum. Should know that.
Okay. So at the end, at the end, everybody's happy that they won the war, right? And Charlie Wilson, and not the Charlie Wilson that we know. Charlie Wilson was a senator.
Not OG.
Not OG.
Yeah, not OG.
But he was lobbying the Congress that look, we need to support Afghanistan to help them rebuild their country, because if not, it's a vacuum and it's going to go into chaos and they're going to end up hating us. Nobody took them serious. They never gave any money. They didn't rebuild the country. They just left them alone and just said, yeah, you're on your own now. The rise of the Taliban comes directly from that. Say that to say, you never know in life. You got to be patient. What looks like a blessing could be a curse. What looks like a curse can be a blessing. When this whole Ozempic thing started to go crazy, I said, most good things have some level of negative side effect. Let's see what happens. I just had a strong suspicion that if people are losing weight this quickly, there's a negative trade-off. And that negative trade-off would lead to billions of dollars in lawsuits down the line. Lo and behold, 1 year later, that's exactly what happened. Stock went from $142 to $54 currently. Fell off a cliff. Going blind? That's crazy.
Yeah. Probably one of the greatest drawdowns we've ever seen for a publicly traded company too in that space.
Inside the lawsuit, here are the the side effects that are actually going to be in part of the litigation: stomach paralysis, intestinal blockages, persistent vomiting, gallbladder issues, pancreatitis, kidney damage, and sudden vision loss linked to a condition called Nyon.
The vision loss that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Vision, you taking medicine to lose weight and then you just can't see one day?
Well, you're taking it for diabetes first.
Well, most people
then they figured out,
most people just started taking it just to lose weight.
Yeah.
Now, I'm very sensitive that obesity is an epidemic in our nation and in our community. So I don't want to be insensitive to anybody that has taken Ozempic.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, when you're doing things and you're cutting corners,
it's going to come back and bite
it's
you.
going to come back.
Yeah. So their defense, and I'm not here to defend them, but inside the litigation, it says they're saying that yes, all drugs do come with side effects, but they're actively suing pharmacies for producing unapproved versions of the GLP-1s. So people were getting the off-brand, is what they're saying, right? Like you weren't getting Wegovy.
Got cut twice.
You can't get stepped on.
It got stepped on. Cut. You know what's so crazy too? Like shout out to my guy Chocolate. He's a designer from Ghana. So he came to America for InvestFest, and I saw him the first day that he came, and he had a headache. He was with him and his other guy, and I'm like, "Yo, you need an Advil?" I got Advil, and he was like, "He's like, we don't take Advil." He's like, "From Africa, like we're gonna take a natural route." Then he gave me a whole 10-minute education on a natural route and how you can cure headaches naturally. But the way he said Advil, you would think I offered him crack cocaine. But that goes back to our Western. We have so much medicine that we don't even think about
it.
We don't think about what's natural. We don't think about how can we do this organically. We just think, yo, all right, I'm just gonna go to CVS and I'm gonna get right until you have these side effects. So be careful to anybody that's taking these drugs, because obviously it has a lot of negative side effects. Now, as far as a business is concerned, Novo was a stock that was flying high and it's come down dramatically. Is it over?
No, it's not over. Because I don't want to do the dead or alive thing. Are they in critical condition? Yes. Like going back to best in class. At one point, I had people telling me Novo was a better company than Lilly. How? Also, too, write this down. You have to study the history of the category. Any company that has a product that is publicly traded that is guaranteed to have you lose weight, going back to FinFin of the 1980s and 1990s, this category normally has been a disaster. Novo had Cagrilima back in the day. Like this entire class of rapid result weight loss, the issue is always heart or stomach issues or liver issues. So it may have a blockbuster rise for a little bit, but it's not sustainable. The things that makes Lilly different, they have a bunch of other drugs, world-class executive leadership, and different moats that Novo does not have. But if you go to look at the history of these, going back to 1964, within 7 years, there's lawsuits or collapse in the stock tied to weight loss products. It's not natural. Like, and then even GLP-1s, the venom from a Gila lizard being extracted.
I saw that.
It's not probably so. You're putting,
but that was a little,
for my Christians. Okay. You're putting lizard and snake venom in your body to get the weight of the world off of you.
Yeah,
that makes no sense, yo. I don't even want to go into the nefarious reptilian lord world view, but that's not what I want to do. Knowing the source of the thing is really important. So this space as a whole is not one that I like to even look to invest in long term.
The snake thing is a little bit exaggerated. A little bit. I did the deep dive into that. Because I was interested. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is crazy. But is Novo dead? No, they're not dead. 5 years ago, they were trading at $30. Think about that.
They're not that much higher. They're not that much higher now. 50.
I'm about to say they may get back there.
Damn near on the verge of that now.
Can I land the plane? They were at $30, right? Before the weight loss craze happened, right? Ozempic was the name. It almost became like Band-Aid, and then obviously Lilly has come in. The problem, and I think you laid it out pretty nicely, the one thing that they don't have is they're not an American company. And in this economy, when we talked about the American companies, they're going to make sure that the American company is going to thrive. And if Lilly is producing that drug, Zepbound or Moderna, they're going to make sure that that's at the forefront, right? Novo is a Danish company, and if you watch the 60-minute special, they covered it really well about what that company means to the GDP of the country, right? Let alone just to the founders. what it means to the company. They're in trouble in terms of that, right? So like when we think about, okay, hey, how is America going to make sure that they are thriving? That's how you get behind an American company that produces it. The other part is this. The company is valued at $250 billion. In a capitalist world, right? Do you take the, I mean, we've seen this happen plenty of times, especially in the tech world where the fine is 10 million. Well, we made 600 billion, right? The fine is 2 billion. Well, they've made 200 billion in 3 years. At a certain point, are they looking at it like, yo, we'll take these fines, we'll settle these lawsuits, and we'll keep business as usual?
They don't. I think that's a bad business model for a company.
It's always been.
Other drugs.
How many businesses have done that?
They weren't relying upon one drug though, or one product, or one SKU for the majority of their revenue though.
True. I'm with you on that. I'm just saying in terms of business in a capitalistic world.
Oh, right? For sure. It happens a lot. I think they're too new of a player in the publicly traded space to even, that's usually more of a legacy play. When Bayer did it back in the day, with these companies were rooted 30 and 60 years in, who had cash reserves. Even Apple. I think one of the biggest risks that no one talks about as Apple is the radiation risk from the Bluetooth in the phone.
Settled.
Cash reserves are deep enough though. If they hit that pocket in 29, they'll be okay. Novo can't afford.
They can't afford it at this point.
So
what about Eli Lilly?
Eli Lilly be fine. I think they have one of the greatest management teams of all time, and I think they concentrated on this space, trying to catch this wave. But I think they're going to make some adjustments in it. Will they have lawsuits too? Probably. But their cash reserves
they're part of this lawsuit.
But the cash reserves are much deeper, have a much bigger war chest, and then the development of other drugs, Alzheimer's and the like. They have other drugs that are rockstar drugs, and they're just not dependent on this one thing.
Yeah,
I think that's the main difference.
I see people typing Hims. So Hims partnered with Novo, and that partnership is now over, where people can get the subscription through the site. That partnership did not work well. That happened about 2 months ago when they ended the partnership, and we saw Novo stock drop even further. So yeah, Hims is that partnership doesn't exist anymore.
Talking about a brilliant way to get all the upside and none of the downside risk.
Yeah, we out of here.
Oh, brilliant! What? Sorry.
Yeah,
upon further review.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. 2 words. I'm going.
Yep. Revenue for Lilly 52.2 billion. Gross margin 82%. Net margin 25.9% for Eli Lilly. They haven't drawn back as much. But any weight loss invention, with the exception of like diet and exercise for a prolonged period of time, has always been a disaster for the stock market or that particular stock.
If somebody in the comments said, if I'm up on Apple stock, should I sell after the iPhone event next week?
How much you up? But short answer is no. But if you're up more than 15%, no. Because it means you had a newer position. If you got it in April, it's not talked about enough, despite the drops in decision making for what they should have done with AI. Since April, the stock been on a tear. So it depends on where you got in.
I think since he made that visit, we've seen a change in Apple. Yeah, sure. But I think the I guess the answer from my standpoint would be, you should know before you enter the position where you're going to exit.
That's probably
right. So like if it's a 10% appreciation that you want to see, if you get this to 10%, then that's your exit. If it's 50%, if it's 100%, you should know. Like before you make that investment, like I do that a lot. I'll look at the level of potential catalyst events that can happen. Right. So if I know earnings is this day, and I know I got at least a cycle, I got 4 earnings cycle before this contract expires. I know there's going to be an innovation announcement in September, like the iPhone. That's going to be inside of this cycle. I know I'm going to count the fourth quarter, which is huge for a lot of these tech companies and a lot of e-commerce companies. That's going to be part of my cycle. So everything is calculated before you enter the position. So you know, like, all right, if I get to this, I already know what to do. I know I know September's happening. We're going to usually, historically, we've seen a rise in the anticipation of the next iPhone, those sales get counted into the fourth quarter. Those things are all part of the plan. So you should have that already mapped out before you enter the position.
Guess what I just got a text from?
Ooh.
Xander. He said he wants to see Jordan and LeBron at InvestFest next year.
Jordan
Go
and
debate.
LeBron.
Oh, no problem. Easy. Know some people.
Mav.
Shout out to Mav.
Hmm.
Shout out to Mav. Shout out to Rich. I see them boys on the golf course. I think they got the golf ball. They addicted now.
Yeah.
It's over. I think it's Ernie's birthday today. Happy birthday to the bro. Shout out to bro.
Justin N513 asks, do I hate Apple? No, I'm just highlighting as an investor what should be done. Now, making no mistake about it, since April, they had a hell of a turnaround. And I'm really not worried about Apple unless they get into the 167.12 range. I'm just highlighting, I don't want them to be a company that gives up their lead. And as we transition out of this FANG era into the AI era, I don't want them to get left behind. No. Apple's been great to me. The Apple position has been great. Thank God. I just want them to continue to be a great company. So, no hate.
What okay. What's the best advice for those making between $50,000 and $100,000 a year? How much in stocks, bonds, real estate? Like, what's the blueprint?
I don't think you should have any bond exposure unless you're 55 and up. Question for the audience: will the stable coin market save the bond market? They just want to throw that out there. Real estate versus stocks. I don't want to have a debate about that. I do think you do need some real estate exposure, but I would probably do at least 75% of the capital to be deployed into publicly traded equities, also known as stocks, because they're going to give you a higher return on investment.
Invest in stocks. Invest in stocks.
Bond market's dead, Joe. Well, not like dead, but like there's a contagion event that's happening in the bond market that no one wants to talk about. We're going to live through the big short and somebody's going to make an announcement at some point. But the bond market, I will not touch it all.
Okay. Super chat question. What indicators should I monitor regarding my company's performance and overall market before making any decisions about selling?
Which company is it?
RSU and ESPP.
Go ahead. The RSU is an ETF.
Yeah. And what was the second one?
ESPP, I think. Was it?
Let me see.
ESPP.
Got nothing for that.
Why am I regarding my company's performance over market? What you should look at for sure is profit margin. Market share is very important. Do they own the majority of the market share? Are they a mover of the GDP for the American GDP? Because we are the biggest continent that focuses on stocks. Other continents do as well, but it has a more impact on our GDP and overall economy. And then also to what are the potential threats to that business that are seen and unseen?
Okay,
Yeah.
she's not talking about a stock. She's not talking about a stock. She's talking about employee stock purchase plan and restricted stock unit. So her company is offering, okay. Question makes more sense now. So she has option in her contract, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Where she has an employee stock purchase plan. So she wants to know about that fundamentals, I guess, for her company, actually. So I guess she was like, for her company.
The same advice will still apply. I mean, if she can't tell the company, if she can send a bad signal to one of us and let us know what company it is, and I'll just flat out tell you if you should or you shouldn't. But same thing. Profit margin, are the fundamentals great of the company? Do they have a lead that no one else has? Do they have a product or service with a moat that will not decay over 11 to 14-year period? Are they in favor with BlackRock and Vanguard as a primary investment in their sector? Drawdown over the last 10 years. What is the fair value price of it and intrinsic value price versus where it is deployed now? Like, but also if you just give me the company, I'll tell you if it's trash or not.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you're working at a strong company.
Yeah.
But the stock buying, I mean, usually you get the stock at a pretty discounted price.
Yeah.
So there might not be opportunity again when we talk about you can't.
Even in pricing, even at Intel, at the right price, if you work at Intel, you still making a killing.
It might be advantageous to grab some shares.
But then also it's a lot of times where it's just sentiment, gut feeling. Kenny Burns, when he got interviewed at InvestFest for Revolt, they asked him the best investment that he's ever made. And when he first started working with Uncle Nearest, they gave him stock in the company, stock options. I think it was valued at like 57 cents. And he sold it last year. And at the time, it was valued at like $30. And then
Kenny.
obviously Uncle Nearest is going through some problems right now. So I don't know why he sold it, but I'm assuming that he just felt it was a good time to sell it.
Instinct. Or see, and y'all got to watch the tastemakers. People like Kenny, Terrence, who have their eye on the pulse of a lot of things. That gut instinct is real. Or Kenny could have just got to a place where the return was good enough. Ebro's another one. Those tastemakers who have an idea about something based on the meetings and conversations that they're having, they know entry and exit points very well.
Yeah, if you know, that's what they don't. You drew the exit strategy before you entered it. Yes, I mean, if it's at $30, you got 57 cents. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times people don't even know that that's an option for them while they're working. And that's another way. When we're talking about you can't work your way to wealth, well, that's the type of investment.
Yes, you can.
Well, no. You can't work your way to wealth. Well, you got to invest, right? And so if you can do it through your company, right, then that becomes even more advantageous for you because you're going to get it at a disparate price as opposed to the public. And so if you can build shares through that and have it with you, I mean, that helps your portfolio for sure.
I would make a hot take that shouldn't be a hot take. I think more people that have worked at companies and invested into the companies that they're working in have become financially free or millionaires as opposed to taking an entrepreneurship route to that path.
No.
By far.
Did you see that report? Nvidia? They recently put out the report that 80% of the employees are millionaires. 80%. You
got to attach yourself to the right rocket ship.
That I made more millionaires than a lotto did. That's really like a lifestyle. 80%, bro. That's pretty impressive.
Another super chat question is TerraWolf. What's your thoughts on TerraWolf?
That's not my area of expertise. Knowing when a pun is important. I think it may have promise to your research, but that's not my area of expertise.
TerraWolf.
Okay.
We'll put that in the database. I appreciate that.
Well, the chart doesn't look promising.
What's the ticker?
WULF.
Oh, okay.
See, y'all gonna give me no more.
Yeah.
I'm supportive of all financial assets. I just specialize in a few.
I'm looking from inception in 93. This doesn't.
Yeah. And it's going to have a pullback and probably get back to that $6.85 range. But at this moment, I have no further thoughts.
Yeah, there's a Google investment. I'll do some research on it. It looks like Google is investing in it. $3.2 billion into the company. So we'll see what it's about.
Remember when I said they should let go of all the bad liabilities and just focus on the 3 that's working?
What's did Perplexity step in the chat yet? Did we get an answer from them about having Chrome? Still waiting on that.
Bitcoin and Ethereum, they've been hovering. I saw an Instagram post saying that Bitcoin was going to bounce back around, then dive back into bear market territory, not surpassing its previous high of 124,000 based off technical analysis. But on technical analysis level, Bitcoin, Ethereum, what's the outlook?
It's September. It's not surprising. It hit a high, surprisingly enough, in normal markets. After an asset hits a high, they usually have a pullback. I don't know why so many people who love crypto are surprised by this pullback. A good entry price I like would be 104,977. All the thoughts of it drawing back down to 82,000. I don't know what in the hell, Finney, you're worried about. So 104,977 is where I would like to enter. Give it maybe 2 months. We should be back in that 120, 125 range and surpassing that all-time high. Going back to times when it's opportunity to enter, that price is one. But all this fear, what they call it, FUD, there's nothing to be worried about at this point. And if there was, I would be the first to tell you. Even my own personal low to boat price, it's going to take a combination of Fed interest rates, decay in banks, and like a political or financial event to draw the entire market down. That's not happening in the next 2 months. Not all three. You may have a little Fed fight about interest rates, but the financial calamity that could, or tumult that could come, it's not on the horizon. You'll be fine. Stop worrying. A lot of times is when people have these concerns, it's because they didn't invest in it and they hate seeing all the upside. So they want the market to draw down to get to a point where they can get that kind of gain again. There's nothing to worry about right now.
How do you calculate intrinsic value? Is it Ben Graham's method, or is it Warren Buffett's method, or have you cooked up your own? And what is intrinsic value for people that?
Great question. Intrinsic value is just where the fair value of a stock should be. I love Ben Graham dearly. I think the book is amazing, but that formula may be a little bit outdated. Best way to understand intrinsic value is to listen to me. I'm just being real. I'm done. Y'all gave you every indicator, every clock. Some of this shit comes down to, are you going to listen? If I draw up the play and I say, yo, run slant, the middle of the field open, it's right there. But fair value, I gave it away at InvestFest in my presentation. And if you join Stock Club, I will give you the site that I go to, as well as part of my formula to determine intrinsic value. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. Short answer is just listen to me. Because the prices that I'm giving you are at or below the intrinsic value levels for where you should invest to have a guaranteed return on investment.
The intrinsic value is that number in between, right? So where the price is right now versus where you're saying to buy it at, there's a formula, but like you said, it could get complicated. Operating cash flow versus expenditures and time. So there's a whole bunch of things, but basically is like, what is the actual value when you take those things, operating cash flow,
take the fluff and the multiples out of it,
and the multiple, and then divided by outstanding shares, which I know people don't even know where to find that at. That would give you the intrinsic value, but just Stock Club, man.
Because even with that, if we look at what real intrinsic versus fair value versus what PE ratios used to be versus what they are now, we're in a different ball game. Like price to book sales, like everything's been skewed because everyone has thrown out fundamentals for exceptional gain.
Yeah, it's like, what's the most? I mean, it's tough, right? Like if you look at the multiples of some of these companies, Nvidia and AMD, like for example, like they're not in the same class, but the multiples might be the same because of that intrinsic value. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about 5 to 10 year hold. If somebody actually followed that, what do they do after 10 years? Just sell everything?
Sell 25 or 50% and then let the rest run. I think unless you have a reason to sell every position, because the number one rule is you want the money working for you and you not working for your money. You don't want to have to go back to hustling in the business or side hustle or whatever. You have to have some capital working for you. Like to not have that is a mistake. Given, if you look at business cycle, 27 to 28, something should happen. Magic Johnson told you have 3 years. With the evolution of AI being so great, like if I was running a Russell 2000 company, I would be terrified. I've always said that every entrepreneur, your best bet in any company you run is to put the money in the market and have the best companies and best CEOs working for you. So you got to keep a position of it. Because like, okay, is the return better running Novo? Or would Novo would have been better off putting money into Nvidia? You can say it's crazy, but MicroStrategy stopped working on tech and put all the money into Bitcoin. The investment actually became the hedge. So I don't think you should ever have all of your money out of the market. You need at least 25, worst case 50% working, and then let it run. Because if you look at the cycles of tech, if you pick a good tech company, you usually have 21 years in order for that company to do incredibly well.
Yeah, and if you've invested since we started the show, you've seen kind of where I was going with it is that percentage threshold, which is vital, right? So if I can get my initial investment back, I'm good, right? So once I see 100%, then I know I can do something with that. I'm actually doing something now, which is pretty cool. I think last year people watched me turn an option call into 2,000 shares of Nvidia. I turned the 2,000 shares of Nvidia. I put 500 in an up account for my son, 500 in another account for my daughter. Let that run. I had another with the rest of the profit. I bought another call in Nvidia, and I'm gonna exercise those too. I'm about to add another share, 1,000 shares, and so now we're talking about 3,000 shares of a company. I put that in, and their up account another 500. So now each of them has 1,000 shares of Nvidia that'll run until they turn 18 or 21.
Much easier, bro.
It's way easier. We're just gonna let that run. I obviously keep my 1,000. They each have 1,000, and now you're talking about the college savings plan. It's already there.
And I was just gonna say that the 529 on it. That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Put the fuck money into Microsoft and Nvidia.
Yeah, we put it there, let it run. They're gonna have more than enough for the college, and even if they decide
grad school and house and
is there. So there's so many different ways that you can make the money work for you. Like I said, Nvidia is a great company. I'm going to let it do the work. We already know where this thing is headed. So let it go do its work. 8 years from now, when he's 19, or 6 years from now, when she's 20, it's going to look a lot different, right? We're talking about a company that's on pace to be a $6 trillion company. So there's plenty of growth there. And they're not the only company. I don't want to just harp on Nvidia.
Yeah.
Microsoft is another strong company. There's a couple ones, the ones we said here tonight. But these are just strategies that you could be using. And I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show y'all exactly what it looks like.
3 years from now, Nvidia should be at 292.35. It just tells you how much more room we have to run. And that's why sometimes we'll be so short-sighted and selling early, and we will miss the majority of the lion's share of the upside activity and just hold it. One of the hardest things to do as an investor is just to pick a good company, put money into it, and after that, do nothing, because we want excitement. You got to find your purpose elsewhere. But if you want to find a multiplier, man, this is the way to go about it.
You said somebody said the only issue is that it's not going to go viral. I'm not doing it to go viral, yo. You know the model is stay low.
What's not going viral?
Me showing that I did it.
No, they're saying they're proposing that Troy has a show. Like, me and you have a show.
Oh, me have a show?
They said, like, if Troy had a show.
Stay low, keep firing. That's the name of the show.
Good show.
That's the name of it. Stay low, keep firing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Special guest Whack 100.
Chill.
He spoke some truth in that little statement about the 5th grade.
That's a fact.
I saw that this afternoon. That I respect that.
Whack spoke some truth.
I respect that message.
That's a fact. That is 100% true. Troy. They said Troy has a show. It's at EY University.
Every month. Tune in. And we're going to show you exactly what this looks like.
And there's a difference between free media backed by advertising and paid media that does not need advertising.
Yeah. You know why? Because people will see it and like, oh my gosh, I don't understand that. But the people who've been here for the past 3 years, 5 years on, they understand it. So I can speak the language because they're like, oh, wow. All right, let me implement that. And so that's what that's for, man. Don't worry. We're going to stay low, keep firing.
Yo, go drop a new project. Stock Club, bro. Red Panther Stock Club. This shit working. We talking 99% net margin.
Yo, the average price for those shares is $23, by the way. So you do the math. You get it later.
How much do you need to be financially free?
Everyone's number is different.
I'm going with my financial advisor told me at 26. He said, Troy, get to 10 million. You might know him. He's sitting next to me. He said, get to 10 million. Live off 3% interest. If you could do that, you'd be good. That
I know.
When he told me that at 26, I was like, all right, cool. Cool. That number may have changed a little bit, slightly. Sure. But I still feel like the financial discipline that I have now, that number really doesn't have to change. Right. If it was crazy. I looked at my retirement plan as a teacher, and my last year's salary was $117,000, and I had 2 kids and a wife, and I was living pretty comfortable off that. If I can't, I mean, obviously, you know, as you accumulate more things and your family grows a little bit more, in terms of, obviously my kids are teenagers now, you need more money, and obviously inflation. So like,
for sure,
if I 4%, and that's super conservative was the number. But yeah, man, he said that, and I didn't really understand it then. As I got older, I understood it even more.
I understand it now, yeah.
And even when Cedric Nash spoke, that's kind of what he was saying. He was like, if I can get to 15 million, I can make 5%. I'm good.
Easy layup. And that Apple is the new bond. Cool. Everyone's number is different, but you have to calibrate what your kid, because people always kill me. Well, that's unrealistic to get to 27 to 28 million. Calculate the number that your child needs to the time they're 18 to build a sustainable life for them, a sustainable life for you if you're free and clear, and multiply it by 3 and you're good.
I saw somebody today say 3.5 million was a freedom number.
If you have no kids, yes.
Somebody on Instagram said that today.
Yeah, if you got no kids, yes.
No, my 3% ain't gonna work.
It's just math and reverse engineering at that point.
But every year is not gonna be 3%, right? You put in an index fund.
If you listen to me, that's what the edge is. But, and I'll even say, even after you get to your freedom number, this is the part that other people won't tell you. You still have to have things and purpose to give you joy. Some of them like, oh, why you still do the show? I love this shit. That's why. Yeah. I love it. And hopefully on the stage, y'all can feel my love for you and the love I felt from y'all. But the idea of just, I'm going to get 10 million and put it into an index fund or into a tech and get 15% return. There's only so much time on the beach and sex on the beach you're going to have until you're like, damn, there's more to life than just wasting away. Yeah. You don't know it till you get there, but once you get that freedom number, you can't just float away in the Atlantic or Pacific or Indian. It's not fun. Trust me. Trust me. You still need purpose after you get to that number.
You want to do it with the people you love.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. That's what we had the time keying just about Jada kissing Mac and you tripping. Oh, you tripping. I love you. You my brother you tripping. We're not going to do it today. Maybe blackout, but to kiki with your friends and have some veggie pasta, that's what life's about.
He's not here to defend himself.
I know. That's my dog. I love
We forgive him. 914, we forgive you. Let's not forget.
Okay. All right.
Saha.
Shout out to everybody.
You shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Do remember. Okay. Love, marry, kill.
What we got? I didn't even see the names.
What we got?
Charlie Communications.
Yeah. No, kill. And here's the reason why. If we're going to look at communications by sector, no one's beating Meta.
No. So, where are they though? Are they in the top five, or like they sitting right outside?
I wouldn't say so. I would say outside.
Okay.
Outside. Yeah.
They're outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Hormel Foods.
I get it from a dividend standpoint. This company gets brought up a lot, but if you look at the 5-year or like a 10-year chart, it's disastrous. High was 55 in 2022. Stock is currently at 23. I know it pays a dividend, but no. So, don't love.
Yeah, no.
Hormel food garbage. It was stop, but no, the stock is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just becoming overwhelmingly tougher to invest in companies that are not in the tech sector for me.
Or they'll make a quality product.
Yeah, I mean the next company does make a quality product, right? Keurig Dr Pepper, they make a quality product that people enjoy and use, but it's just, I don't know.
Also, they're not Pepsi. To bring to the last one. Well, I wouldn't marry any of these. So
Yeah, I wouldn't touch
this Love Island. All y'all getting kicked off. What's my man name who ran across the island because the girl's getting pounded out? Maybe if I had to marry one, PepsiCo, even though it's not on the list, but Keurig, all of them get kicked off the island. Sorry, get beat up at the reunion.
Yeah.
Out of those three, I mean,
none.
I don't know, man. None of them. Maybe
it's a great lesson in life. Only pick exceptional if you don't want to live in hell on earth. A lot of you end up in purgatory picking exceptional people and non-exceptional assets to be in your life. Some things got just a whole pack. Out of that list, all trash.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just think, try to. I was gonna say that would probably be the only one you even think about, but the way that streaming has been disruptive, even like for traditional broadcast TV, Comcast, like Paramount, all of them are just trying to figure this thing out. ESPN, I don't even know what they just did. They launched the app, and I already have the app, and I'm trying to figure out what happened there on the 21st.
Dead on arrival.
I don't know, man. It's
even
just,
HBO Max. They want HBO Max Plus back to the rebranding.
Back to HBO Max.
It's like, what are you doing, yo? Netflix wiping it. But this is why, historically, for the last 40 years, 10 companies have always adjusted in being the leaders. You can go back to the IBM days. You can go back to Standard Oil when Rockefeller was running it. All the gains come out of 10 to 12 amazing companies that have a moat for 20 to 30 years.
Bigger than Netflix, though.
Netflix,
YouTube
for sure.
Google,
for sure. Now, if YouTube spun out as its own entity and was publicly traded, oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
What about Alibaba?
I know that they're investing in AI and that story is cute. I haven't. China's fighting a different war, and China is a country, which Rashad, you speak on this. They don't let the tech bros and business run the government. The government runs the government. In America, we let the oligarchs and the technocrats run the country. They don't do that in China. So I love that they're investing in AI. I'm glad that Jack is okay and he's reading to the kids in elementary school. But no. See, anytime Xi Jinping get upset, we can reimagine what that board and CEO position looks like. That's the big U for real.
They're getting into the AI space. They're making their chips, and it's something that you have to watch because it's important to watch, because we've seen in a different sector where there was a product and they didn't take over the Chinese market, and then China created a company that actually took over their market, right? When we're talking about Tesla and BYD. So we got to be mindful of it. We got to just pay attention to the moves that they're making because it's important. And Nvidia, and this is why they want to make a chip specifically for this market. So they can say like, hey, yes, we need you as a client. You are a leader in e-commerce. The chip thing, they would be comparable to like Amazon making their own chip, right? Where we can provide you with the chip right now so you can get ahead. We just got to be mindful of it. We'll see what the ruling is here on the B38 chip that Nvidia has specifically for China. It's better than
that could change the course of.
Let's see what happens with that, because the H20 was right. That was old work. They said, "Now we got new work that's specifically for you." Let's see how the Chinese market receives that chip.
And at this point, if you're a major technology company, investing into AI or chips is a fundamental need for you to not get left behind. It doesn't mean you're going to be a leader. Now, if they invested in quantum, my whole stance on Baba would be different. They hadn't done that yet.
Somebody in the chat said greatest acquisition from a Mag 7. I'm assuming that's saying what's the greatest acquisition that a Mag 7 company ever made. To me, it would be what we're watching right now. A company called YouTube, which was purchased by Google.
For stealing.
That would be number one. Number two would be Instagram. Purchased by a company at the time called Facebook, which is now Meta.
I'm going to challenge both of you, just for argument's sake. Let's just I thought when you said what we're watching right now, I thought you meant like in the time.
The AI era? Okay, yeah.
I thought you was gonna say Microsoft acquiring OpenAI.
Well, they haven't acquired OpenAI. That's why
49%.
They purchased ownership inside of the company. That's not acquisition. You own the whole.
Right. Yeah. They acquired
that greatest partnership and investment into. You can argue that, but yeah, full acquisition. I think YouTube was probably. We can have a conversation if YouTube was not there to deploy that AdSense model. I don't know where Google would be. It may have been this like if when KD went to the Warriors and stayed, and him and Draymond got along. Probably changed the trajectory of the company when they failed at so many other things and social media.
Bro,
changed it forever.
It changed our life. Like we're sitting here right now.
Because you always have to look at who could have else acquired it. If Facebook would have acquired YouTube, Google would be dead in this AI era.
Glass Valley said Broadcom acquiring. So Broadcom didn't acquire AVGO. Broadcom is AVGO. AVGO was actually a branch of Hewlett Packard. I think that's what you meant to say. And they branched off. Hewlett Packard must be like, what the hell were we thinking?
Now, if we do that, one of the biggest fumbles in the history of corporate America, that one, and Microsoft letting that Expedia team go. Ballmer did that. You know, the internal team that made Expedia was a Microsoft project, and they didn't want it, and they fucking scot-free. No investment.
There's a bunch of that. Blockbuster, Netflix.
Oh yeah.
But that's not targets. That wasn't in-house though. But yeah, that's another.
They brought it to their door
and turned it down.
Literally brought it to their door, and they said no, thank you.
I'm with you on that. I'm just saying those companies were inside the company and they let it go.
Yeah, like Expedia was spun out of Microsoft during the Ballmer era.
Is Expedia ever going to split?
I hope if I owned it, I wouldn't. And given the last couple of years, there's a qualitative reason to keep the share price high because it doesn't always work in your favor. I think when we look back, I think that splitting is great when the ability to borrow money for cheap is great, but we're in a different kind of climate.
I was thinking bookings.com, not Expedia. Bookings.
Got you. Oh, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
They sector, but yeah.
Yeah.
They're out of control with the price.
Yep.
Broadcom this Thursday, y'all. I'll be reading. I'll be reading. In fact, I have my Claude. My Claude is ready. Shout out to Claude.
Claude is fire, yo.
Shout out to them.
Xander, I'll be home soon. You go to bed. Or you can stay up, but you're going to be tired in the morning. Your choice.
Yeah, it's time. It's been real, man. Yo, Greenberg, school tomorrow. That's crazy. Shout out to all my Greenberg Central 7 babies. Shout out to Central 7. Shout out to Woodlands. Good luck next year. This is it's a critical time. It's a critical time. So everybody starting college, who's in college, I know some people fall semesters are in full effect. It's about to start some in here in New York State. So, man, blessings to everybody that's trying to educate themselves.
Yeah, on once again September 21st, I'm doing an NIL panel in conjunction with African American Men of Westchester for all NIL eligible athletes, parents, coaches. Register. The link is in the bio of my Instagram page, my personal Instagram page. 2 to 5, bringing an agent, bringing an NIL director at a Power 7 school, and bringing the top entertainment lawyer and bringing a financial advisor. Free, all free for the kids.
PJ Washington, just know if one situation doesn't work out, they want to get you in a tornado. Navigate carefully. I love you, my brother.
He got another joint?
Hold your head. Hold your head.
Got you gotta do the same thing in the driveway, my boy. We done all been there. I feel you. Life going good.
He did it again?
No, but he, look kerfuffle at this exchange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jiggy, DM to my personal page. which is Rashad Bilal, RASHADBILAL.
And that's only good for 24 hours. So if you do it Friday.
Jiggy, we're gonna see you on Wednesday too, man. I want to see you there. Make sure you're in the chat on Wednesday and let us know you showed up. And we're gonna tell people that you showed up too.
For sure.
Yeah. PJ, hold your head. We got a lot to talk about on Blackout. Tell you that much.
Mega episode.
Atlanta.
Maybe 25 topics. Oh my God, Atlanta. What is going on?
Good thing we did InvestFest before all this stuff happened in Atlanta. Atlanta's in a state of emergency right now.
Russ been telling y'all about them bots for a bunch of years, and y'all act like he was hating. He was telling the truth.
That boy Thugger, he said, "Yo, how much we need to?" Did you hear that phone call about the bots? He said, "Yo, just pay it."
He said,
"It's a lot of business conversations.
Great business conversations.
The P little baby situation.
That was nasty, bro. He said, "I don't hate nobody on this planet except him."
Talking about Gunna. I'm talking about the little baby and P.
I'm saying when he was saying about the bots, he said, "Put my album out the same day as him." Like I don't hate. Like, I'm like, yo,
it's a lot of great business lessons.
But then he also said, "Yo, let's sign him to another 4-year deal." He said, "All right," because 21 Savage was like, "Yo, you might as well." He's like, "You know what? You're right. Let's see if he could try to get another 4 albums out of this."
And what the judge say? The only person you can work with is who?
That's a lot of great business lessons.
I'll leave that to y'all, man.
It's a lot of business.
I'm gonna leave that to
y'all. I'm out of Atlanta business.
Nothing to do with
I'm only
business,
talking about
man.
the business case studies,
man.
I do not care about that. I am not in the streets.
Yeah, I'm just here to listen to Snow Allegra, Tiana Taylor's new album. I've been listening to that. Shout out to her.
No, but it's a lot of good business lessons in that.
I'm sure.
Like I said, from the P situation with Lil Baby, from the let's sign to another 4-year deal on the spot, to the bots. He verified like the bot thing is not a myth. He literally said like, "Yo, let's buy the bots. Let's whatever we got to do to make this album number one."
Michael Williams did a whole episode on the bots.
So okay, from a business standpoint, why is that important? Perception. You always have to lead with strength. Perception is very important in any type of business. So when you're running your business, always, that's why PR people are. That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. Investing into somebody who may not be with you long term is a mistake.
Winners, people like to associate them. All right, it's the pretty girl theory. I was watching Zoo. What's that movie with the zoo? The guy, he ran a zoo. Chubby dude. Zookeeper. It's not Zoolander, but he. The long story short,
Paul Blart.
Nah. It was
Mall Cop.
Nah, it was a dude with Tanya. The Puerto Rican girl was in it. Dawson. Anyway,
you lost me.
He used to run a zoo. The dude was running a zoo. But long story short, he had to get her to go to the wedding with him because you're like a pretty girl. When they see you with another pretty girl, the girls is gonna want you.
Oh, for sure.
Perception is vitally important. When somebody sees that you sold 300,000 in the first week, whether the music is good or not, they're interested in booking you for shows. They're interested in streaming your music. Zookeeper, yeah. They're interested. Whereas, like we talked about Tyler, when they see you sell 5,000 the first week,
and her album was tough. Yeah.
So now people is paying money to make their album go higher on the charts for the perception that they're a successful artist. And in that phone conversation, he literally said that.
Somebody told me like half time y'all even be arguing with people online, like it's bots anyway. It's not even
oh yeah,
it's not even real souls.
That's a fact.
Pitless souls.
And they doing that with YouTube, all that. So
for sure. Podcasting view for sure.
100%.
All goody.
100%.
Yep. What you say, Troy? Stay low, keep firing, Troy Jordan.
That's it.
I feel you.
That's it, man.
Gotcha.
That's it.
But Blackout's gonna be a good one.
Mega episode. I'm feeling.
I'm out the way, man. Just trying to get better at Madden, to be honest.
Quality time with the kids.
Time. Yeah, playing Mario Kart with the kids, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
I will be on with Caleb at Investopedia. Kudos to my brother Caleb. Tune into Blackout.
Yo, I saw the footage.
What
The
footage?
Caleb footage. They
Oh, did you?
They sent it to me. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to y'all. They interviewed him in the parking lot. Yo,
Yes.
you remember when he said I was turned? I seen it in his face. He was turned. I was like, oh, this
That's
really
fire.
happened. Yes, I actually know the dudes. I seen them in a party. Shout out to
Maybe
Caleb.
I'm still recording. I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah. That was crazy. Oh man.
Parent duty calls.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate y'all. Be good to each other. Again, to all staff, to all students, man, prayers on an amazing year. Hopefully it's transformative, but realize that education doesn't stop in the four walls of a school building. You got to educate yourself at home and in your community. We're going to do our part. Y'all do your part. Love is love. Let's continue to invest. Let's continue to build. Happy birthday again to all. It's Virgo season, right?
Yep.
Happy birthday to all the Virgos out there. Yeah, man. And take care of yourselves. We got to see y'all here next Monday. Love is love. What y'all got?
Fellas, if y'all weren't acting right after she make that drop off at car line, she gonna get a revenge.
And then also,
It's never gonna stop.
keep in mind, paying for views ain't nothing new though.
Facts.
Nothing new. In 97, that's when Redman said, "Are you dope when you pay for your billboard spot?" That was
95.
So this is nothing new. They've been cooking the books for a long time.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
In the music business, they've been cooking the books for a long time. So all you independent artists out there that think that you just going to spit 16 bars and become a multimillionaire, you fighting against the machine. Fight it like you're literally fighting against the machine. And now AI is going to make it even harder.
I saw the Russell talk about that.
Facts.
He was like, I spend $100,000 every month on marketing, and I'm independent. Like you got to spend. You're fighting the machine. I got to spend like the machine.
And labels was buying albums back in the day to knock up the numbers and all.
That's
this.
a fact.
That's a fact. I think who was talking about Redman? Oh, Joe and Jada. They were saying he don't get enough respect, but that's one of them classic lines.
Yeah.
How you dope? How you dope when you pay for that billboard spot?
I mean, it's still when Jay they gave Funk Flex the brown paper bag to play. Ain't no, but then he was like, nah, I'm not gonna take the money. I'm gonna play the record because it's a dope record.
Yeah.
But that's Dame was like,
That's
yo,
a breakthrough.
like, Dame like, yo, you a DJ? Yeah, here's a bag of money. Play the record.
We was praising Billboard, but we was young. Now I look at Billboard like, are you dumb?
Everything is a business.
Yeah.
Everything.
Business is business.
That's what they said. What's the name got canned over?
Who?
Talk about that on maybe on Wednesday.
Who?
This whole Hot 97 thing with Flex and
Taking the bag?
yeah, they said
Allegedly.
Yeah, hold your head though. Those guys are legends, especially here in the city.
All right, guys, been real.
Yeah,
but if you put the money into Nvidia, it ain't a bad movie.
Yo, y'all be good, man. Y'all be good. Love is love. We out. Peace.
Peace.